Why Tinubu must restructure Nigeria now? It is time to restructure Nigeria. Okay, and this was written by the Punch editorial board. It is not the best of times for the proponents of restructuring in Nigeria. Exactly. It's not the best of time for everybody, not just the proponents of the restructuring in Nigeria. Uncomfortable with this, the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural Organization, Afenifere, again recently called on President Bola Tinubu to put machinery in motion to dismantle the flawed political system and restructure Nigeria. It is disappointing that after spending more than 8 months in office, Tinubu has to be reminded about the restructuring of the country to reflect its natural federal status. In the communique at the end of Hefenifere's meeting held at the Akure, Ondo State base of its leader Ruben Fashoranti, the body said the unfortunate blast in Ibadan clearly underscores the need to allow the federating units in the country to control the mineral resources in their respective domains, with particular reference to mining and exploration. So the reasoning behind this was that if states were in control of mining, the Oyo state government was likely to know how explosives were being moved around. Exactly. So apart from the center being in control of mining, several other provisions in the 1999 Constitution are antithetical, antithetical to the letter and spirit of federalism. So the brazen killings across the country reflects the flawed security system. So before Tinubu assumed office, he was seen as an advocate of restructuring, variously called a Democrat and Federalist. Nigerians thought he would drive the country's quest for true federalism, in which groups would have self-determination within the context of one country that is genuinely democratic. So far, his indifference on this has been loud. Exactly. He has been very indifferent. He has been very unreactive. He has not done anything about it or said anything about restructuring. And that is not good enough. That is a body language that is not speaking well for him and not speaking well to the rest of Nigerians and particularly the proponents of restructuring. So in 2014, when then President Goodluck Jonathan convened a national conference to rework Nigeria, Tinubu said he did not attend because it was not in the interest of the Yoruba people, a veiled reference to the lack of restructuring on the agenda. So as the governor of Lagos State between 1999 and 2007, he and the then President Olusegun Obasanjo had a bitter face-off when he created 37 local government council development areas, LCDAs, which eventually provoked Obasanjo to seize the state's local government allocations. So in a normal federation, the states are in charge of local government. Nigerians' inverted federalism is mainly the reason the country is failing. It is a surprise that the president who tasted this aberration has been silent on restructuring and system to reflect on restructuring the system to reflect the true tenets of federalism. Several thought leaders, including Afe Babalola, son, Wole Soyinka, and this new paper have been calling for the restructuring of Nigeria as a panacea for political peace and economic progress. Shortly after his victory in the February 25, 2023 election, Soyinka had said Tinubu would fail if he did not restructure the country. So in the current arrangement, the federal government receives 52.6% of Nigeria's income. The 36 states and local government shares the rest. It is unreasonable that one entity will share this much out of the resources of the country. Therefore, there must be fiscal federalism if the country is to arrest the current economic drift. So in fairness, under Obasanjo, the oil producing states started receiving the 13% derivation fund, but this is not enough. Like in the First Republic, states, the regions must be allowed to control their own resources and contribute an agreed percentage to the federal purse. The idea of going every month, cap in hand, to Abuja begs the question of their existence as federating units. Undoubtedly, policing should be local. The center must drive the creation of state police. The single federal police cannot make a dent on the banditry. Fulani herdsmen, okay, so the single federal police cannot make a dent on the banditry, Fulani herdsmen raping, terrorism, kidnapping, and sundry crimes ravaging the country. So with restructuring, tension will ease. It will make the states become more creative and competitive since they know they will only survive on the revenue they are able to generate. Exactly. Exactly. So this is Punch editorial that has just written this. And it is that is supposed to be. First of all, Tinubu claimed to be a Democrat. Okay? Right from the time of Nadeku, when Nigeria was struggling to get out of the hooks of the military, he claimed to be a Democrat. Now, when he became the governor of Lagos State, he created 37 local government development areas under Obasanjo, which made him to have face off with Obasanjo. So this man, even before he won the election of 2023 as president, he was seen as an advocate of restructuring. So why has he kept quiet now? Why has he refused to say anything now? I think the question has been answered. The only reason is because out of the 100% of the total national revenue, the federal takes 52.6%. That is huge money for him. And I'm sure the only reason he's saying it's his turn is to go and make money, is to go and recover all his investment in becoming the president. All the money he has spent in politics to become the president is seen as investment, and he will recoup all of them 200% or more before he will list it. Okay, so but again, shortly before he took office, people like Afe Babalola and Wole Soyinka told him to his face that he would have failed if he, or he would have failed himself and failed Nigeria if he failed to restructure Nigeria. Okay, and this is a very serious matter now. Now that the Afenifere has gone into a meeting and has called on him to restructure Nigeria now, that it is very, very surprising that after 8 months of being in office, Tinubu is still being reminded that he should put system in place to restructure Nigeria now. That if restructuring was done and federating units were to be in charge of the resources, the blast that took place in Ibadan would not have happened because the movement of explosives to the state would have been captured by the governor effectively. And then the issue of security in the insecurity in the country. Okay, if the federated units are in charge of their policing system, there is no way all these Fulani herdsmen, banditry, raping, and all kinds of criminal crime society would be in place. Because I tell you, from what I'm saying, single federal police cannot even cause a dent on the banditry, not to talk of arresting it. It's not possible. Okay. So with all of this put together, I hope Tinubu, and even when Goodluck in 2014 put a confab together to review Nigerians and plan for restructuring, Tinubu failed to attend on the claim that they did not include restructuring, and so it's not the interest of the Yorubas. Can you imagine? So it means that he's so tribalistic in whatever he's doing. So with ease, can we say that Tinubu is not interested in Nigeria, rather is interested in Yoruba? Okay, because he feels that the Hausas have done a lot for themselves and it is time for the Yorubas, and it is his time in the Yoruba land. I think all of this put together, we can, it's still very difficult to determine the mindset of Tinubu because his quietness also shows that he's enjoying the fund that the federal government is taking from all the national resources, a whole whopping 52.6%, and that is huge. I tell you the truth. So that is what is happening. Thank you for listening. Let's have your comment over the issue of restructuring and the position of Tinubu in the overall.